Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president of Emery Thompson Machine, and welcome to Questions Answered.
You said that backwards. I'm Christi Brown, vice president of sales and marketing. Now you say welcome to Questions Answered.
I'm trying to figure out how to say it backwards. No, is that not what you mean?
Yeah.
Why don't we just move on? Hi, good morning. I'll take the first question, and my question is a dual answer. Customer wants to know, can they put their batch freezer out in front of the public? Technically, the answer would be no. It needs to be in a back room, away from the public. You will often see in a lot of businesses soft ice cream machines, and they appear to be in front of the public, say it like a McDonald's, but it's actually arm's length distance away. That's usually the health code law. And so often with a soft serve machine, like you see a batch freezer here, the server will turn their back to you, get you the soft serve, and then hand it to you. Batch freezers they want in a ice cream room that's built for sanitary conditions. The other part of that question would be, can I have it out in front of the public? Same question, but we often sell machines to people who are going to use them in their home, or it's a really big house in Connecticut where they're going to have it between the pool and the tennis court. There's nothing wrong with that because the big difference is it's your private use. You can do anything you want as long as it's private use.
All right. Where am I at? Oh, right behind me is the CB200. And we get the question of what is the difference between the 220 volt and the 115 volt? It's the plugs. So one machine is not better than the other. They both run the same. They both function the same. The 115 volt is just a normal household plug. Plugs right into any outlet, just like a toaster, your microwave, a hair dryer, anything that you plug in. Just be sure it's on its own dedicated circuit's always best. And the 220, we both provide both of these for you, by the way. It comes with its own special plug and receptacle, and you just need a licensed electrician. Typically, people go with 220 for, out of the U.S. because they have to have it in 50 hertz. Other than that, everybody always goes with 115 volt in the U.S.
You're not going to get two plugs from us when the machine comes. You're going to get the appropriate plug for the machine.
Yes.
So don't be looking for two plugs. You can't run a 220 machine on a 110 plug.
Nope.
This is a great question. I like this one, and I'm breaking it into two different parts. And it's make or buy my ice cream. Should I make or buy my ice cream? Why should I spend all the money on a batch freezer, a sink, freezers, all this, when I can buy from Hershey's or Breyers? Yeah, I know. Well, there's the answer right there. It's because you're not going to get the same quality whatsoever. But I'll get into that in a second. What I really want to touch on is only you can make your own ice cream. It's not going to be Hershey's brand. It's going to be your personal brand, and that makes a big difference. Families love to go out on a weekend to go get ice cream and come to your place. I mean, nobody is excited to go out to the supermarket, pick up a gallon of Breyers and bring it home. There's just not a lot of excitement there. So it's an outing. It's something to do. We tend to claim in our town the businesses that we frequent. Come on, I'm going to take you out to my pizza parlor. Let's go to my ice cream parlor. We don't own them, but it's where we go. So you're really building a family tradition when you're making homemade ice cream, because it's something that's ingrained in our American culture, and it's definitely going to be a better quality. And then next question, I'll talk about the pricing.
Well, another fact to touch on that too is we all learned through the pandemic of shortages, and there's still shortages going on. And when you make your own ice cream, there are no shortages. You control your own inventory. You can make as much as you want. You can go to the grocery store. If your supplier is out of Oreos, you can go to the Publix or Walmart or Sam's Club and buy those Oreos and get your ice cream made. Same thing with everything else.
Well put.
Yeah. So I was asked, can I use any cereal to make ice cream? Yes and no. Grape nuts, absolutely, yes. They're very hard. They're non-porous, really. They don't absorb any moisture, so they keep their texture and their shape. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles, it's going to get mushy. As we've talked about it before, Cinnamon Toast Crunch does have a powder. That is also something you could probably do with Fruit Loops. You could, dry those or put them in a Ninja and turn them into a powder as well. So I would do that with anything that's big and porous like these or Fruit Loops or anything of that sort. So yes, you can, but also no at the same time. I'm pretty quick today.
Yes. So the last part of my question is the financial benefits of making your own ice cream. It is going to cost you less to make your own. People think, well, Haagen-Dazs and Breyers, they can make it for less money than me because they're so big they can buy in volume from the dairies. Dairy prices are set by the federal government to have a floor on them of how low they can go. What it basically means for you is you can make your ice cream for just about the same cost as another company if you use equal to equal. But of course, you're going to be controlling the cost of the product by the ingredients that you use. It was put to me one way that you can make, say, an Italian ice that's suitable for selling at Yankee Stadium, or it's hot and everybody wants something to cool off, and the quality doesn't matter as much. Or you can make an Italian ice that you have people around the block waiting to buy because your quality is so good. If you make your own ice cream, you're able to make flavors that nobody else can, like Christi was just saying about the cereal. You're not going to find Hershey's making a post-toasty cereal. It's not going to happen. Also, again, Christi alluded to during the pandemic, we switched everybody over to selling pints of ice cream. If you wanted to sell pints using Hershey's, you would have to scoop the ice cream, put it into the pint, compress it. It's going to be very time-consuming and very expensive. Whereas if you make your own ice cream, you just slow the machine down a little bit, open the gate, and fill that pint. So now you've got a whole different reason for people to come to you. They can come and buy an ice cream cone, and they can take a couple of pints of the flavor of the week home with them.
Agreed. We're going to talk about sugar content. Hold on, I'm getting there, guys. So quite a bit of customers, they will ask me, exactly how long does it take to make a batch of ice cream? Well, it depends. And I always tell every single customer this. It depends on your sugar content. Sugar content can vary from any product. Maple syrup has 24 grams of sugar per tablespoon. Then you have Hershey syrups, which is 12 grams. And then you have molasses, which I don't remember which that one was. But it's all different sugar contents. If I was to dump all of this syrup in there into the 24 quart, a lot of sugar was just added, so it's going to take on the higher side to freeze. If I was to add the Hershey syrup into the 24 quart, it won't take as long because it's got a lower sugar content. And so it just really honestly depends. Now, if you're going to throw in cookies with your Hershey syrup, if you're going to throw in chocolate chips, you just added more sugar. More sugar means longer freezing time. I'm not talking, 25-minute freezing times. I'm talking you went from 9 minutes and now you threw in chocolate chips. Now it's going to take you 9.5 minutes. Same thing if you're going to start adding donuts, maple and, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Maple syrup and donuts. Donuts are sugar. It has sugar content, so you add probably another minute to that. So it always depends on your sugar content. If you're running just plain basic vanilla, then you're looking about 8 minutes every single time religiously. But no two batches are going to freeze the same because every ingredient is different with a different sugar content. Even the cereal we talked about. So just some food for thought.
Sounds good.
Pun intended, I guess.
Yes, always. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week, and thank you for tuning in. Bye.